please stand for the rendering of military honors that will be preceded by throwing of caps and a vow. Thank you. You may now proceed.
On behalf of the President of the United States Marine Corps, and a grateful nation, please accept this flag as a token of your loved one's honorable and faithful service.
Sir, thank you. Wow.
I'm truly honored. And I know why Dad chose this. I heard the birds were singing, and it was such a beautiful ceremony to honor him. I'm extremely proud of my dad today. Really extremely proud. And the ceremony was beautiful, gentlemen. It's beautiful. I'm gonna have you hold this. Thank you. All right. Hello, family and friends and other family. Thank you for coming together to honor and celebrate my dad, Stan Keller. If you're here, you are connected somehow to my dad. So think for a moment about what you called him. Whether it was Grandpa or Grandpa Stan or Great Grandpa or just Stan or whatever you call him, think about him for a moment and hold that image. If you close your eyes, hold that image in your mind, because that's who today is about. And for me, it's Dad. As a dad, he was really calm and empathetic and loving. And never do I recall him losing his shit. He was unravelable. Oh, he'd complain for a moment or two, but seriously, nothing fazed my dad. You knew, most of you, that he grew up in an orphanage. Some hard Scrabble stories he's told me about that life. Jumping the back of trolleys to get around, selling unripped transit tickets to people. He had a friend, Al, from Belfair, that's the orphanage, up until Al died like a year and a half ago. From those beginnings, my father learned independence and flexibility that he carried with him his entire life. And he passed on a little bit of that too. My dad was not waiting for something to make him happy. Oh, he would joke and he would tell the waitress that he wanted a bushel basket of $100 bills. But he really embraced the moment he was in. He remained flexible for what would come next and was pretty content with whatever that was. The grumbling was a ruse. Terrible as usual. That was my dad's greeting when others asked him how he was doing. It was his way of bringing humor to a situation and sort of laughing at himself too, because he knew himself. My dad loved approaching strangers as if they were his pals. He would warn diners that were feeding their baby that if he continued to feed their baby that it would grow. That was especially fond. He was especially fond of that one as he grew older. He loved to asking if he could have a ride after the kid was done if he saw a child in a stroller. He loved being warm and familiar with people, even if they were strangers. And he often kidded with people he was with in similar ways. He grumbled a lot, but he really rarely ever complained. Pause. I'm so happy you're all here. Working with his hands made my dad happy. He was an avid wood carver, shipbuilder, wallpaper hanger, tile layer, fixer of everything, puzzle doer, green thumb. I had to write those in. I could just go on. I mean, he passed a lot of that on to me, and I give that to you to love and cherish. He loved the theater, both behind the scenes building sets and also acting too. When you were born, and you were born, and you were born, and you were born, and you were born, anyone who was lucky enough to call him grandpa or great grandpa, he beamed with pride. He would grumble if you approached him and put a baby in his lap, for sure, but then he would beam with pride. Never were you held with more tender care. His pride in you was evident, and his commitment to you was unending. Breath. From his fridge of magnets, I have one. It's a Sunday comic strip from a Sunday. It's 2 frames. It's from a comic called For Better or Worse. And it's a dad talking to his kid. And the dad says, we are temporary. Our lives are just on loan to us for a little while. And nobody knows how long that life will be. And that's why we have to take care of each other and remember every day to appreciate the ones we love. I love the sentiment behind that, taking care of each other, appreciating and loving those that are with us while we're here on this leg of the journey. Death is a transcendent moment for all of us, for each in our own way. For me, the son, for you, the daughter, for you, the daughter-in-law, the grandchildren, the ex-spouse, the great-grandchildren. It transcends for us because we are momentarily asked to check or question a belief, to ponder, to consider, to be curious. It transcends for my dad because he's no longer mortal. He's immortal. Maybe my dad's transcendence hasn't sunk in enough for me yet, and it's only been a week. But when I think of my dad, my heart fills with joy. A billion moments that he and I shared overpower all of the ones that we would miss. I really believe that my dad decided to let go on that Sunday, June 14th. Sundays were one of our days together. A late breakfast at Pete's place and a coffee to toast how lucky we were. And he was a lucky man. He lived a long, full life. And he knew love. He loved deeply and fully. His leaving us 11 days after his wife, Marilyn, is testament to that. I am grateful to have known my dad. His humor, his love, his empathy, his acceptance and understanding, and even his grumbling were all formative for me. One might think that this is our last moment together, or that the last phone call with him laughing when I tossed him one of his lines, "All right for you," or maybe Bray, the time you wrote about outside Royal Palm Manor. But those were not last moments. This is not a last moment. We all carry pieces of him within us, and he will always be there. So if you need a moment of calm, or a moment of flexibility, or to chuckle at yourself for one of your earthly foibles, open up, and you will see that Dad, or Grandpa Stan, whatever you call him, he is there for you. Now I just want to do a last piece of the Kaddish. So if you want to stand up, you can. If not, it doesn't matter really. Osei shalom bimramav, huyasei shalom aleinu. V'ya'ol Yisrael, v'yarum, amen. Thank you all for attending. May you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and a grateful heart. You okay? Thank you. That's it, guys.
On behalf of our entire staff at South Florida National Cemetery, I would like to again offer our deepest condolences to family and friends, and just know that your loved one is here at our cemetery, and we are open 7 days a week, 365 days a year from sunrise to sunset, and please feel free to stay as long as you like and visit as often as you like.
I know why he chose this. It was beautiful, a beautiful thing, and so honorable. So I appreciate all the help. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you. All right, family, we're gonna go that way, and you can just unzoom them.